money still chasing the mill. Wasn't lucky, I've been in the field. Got money still chasing the mill. Wasn't lucky, I've been in the field.
Welcome to In the Field Radio. I'm Erin Boogie. I'm here with Rapz.
Yo, you know what it is, people. Another Monday night, another 10 p.m. All right, 91.3 FM. It's been a what?
Frosty one.
I know. It's been frigid out here. It was dangerous. This had to be the coldest weekend of the winter so far.
Maybe ever.
Yeah. The groundhog popped out. You know, we got more weeks of winter, too.
Yeah, he ain't lied.
I feel like we need an updated version of how we track our weather.
Yeah, the groundhog is ahead.
Other than counting on like one groundhog somewhere in Vermont to be like, you know, the fortune teller of our life.
I feel like we need to shoot the groundhog because what is he even talking about? Like, I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know if we can say that on here. I'm gonna be real. So those are her thoughts. Yo, man, but you know what it is, man. We're coming off a big weekend. All right, we gonna exit right out of there. Stage left. Man, coming off a big weekend, you had some events, I had some events, man. The Super Bowl weekend, man. We're gonna get to that in a few. But there was some music drops, man. We did get this J. Cole album. Did you get a chance to run through? Because I know this is what people want us to get to. So I guess we gotta go straight to it.
I didn't listen to the whole thing because there was so much of it. So I feel like you have to be in the mood to listen to, or I felt like I had to be in the mood to listen to this. And I felt like I cannot get in the mood to listen to this. I really tried all weekend to psych myself up to get into the mood to listen to this. And you
sound like you're not trying to say what you want to say. So I'm gonna ask, what did you feel about what you did here?
I felt like there was a lot going on.
Okay.
I felt like there was a lot going on. So it wasn't as boring as I thought it was going to be, right?
Okay.
So I guess that's a good thing. I don't know, because I heard so many different opinions. I heard it was mid. I heard it was the greatest album of all time. I feel like I needed to give it a week for the hype to die down, and then I could just peacefully listen to this album without the chatter.
Without other people's opinions.
I don't know if it's like my own bias too, because I did not like his last couple albums at all.
Okay.
So I felt like I had bias going into it, where I just was like, I needed like a palate cleanser before, mentally before I went into it.
I'll be real, man. I started this album. Then I quickly realized that it was on. Shuffle. So I'm like, you know what? I can't do that because I feel like with a disc 1 and a disc 2, there's got to be intent with the track listing. So I'm like, nah, let me go back. So then I listened from track 2 and on, and I think at that point it was like I got halfway through disc 1, and I'm like, yo, to me, this just ain't it. Like, and it's not because I wanted to be so harsh on a opinion. But yo, it was really the fact that like I found myself getting distracted the whole time.
Yeah.
Like drowning out the music, and like that's not me. That's not my life. There's never a time where music isn't on for me. So that was very odd, and I was like, you know what? That's telling enough to make me not want to continue. And I'm sure that I'll get back to all of this. Like I'm definitely gonna give it a full listen, but it's just I kind of get you. Like maybe you got to be in the right vibe. Like, and I don't know what the vibe is for this.
I think I got about 8 songs into the first disc.
I'd say that's about where I was.
Yeah, you know? And then I was like, I've listened to what I can listen to, and now I have to come back. And I mean, granted, I think that's fair. There's 24 songs. It's a lot to get through.
Nah, it is definitely a lot. It's definitely a lot. But again, I'll revisit that. We'll get back to it, man. If you guys got some takes, let us know how you feeling at In the Field Radio.
Did you see that he's selling copies of the project out of the trunk of his old Honda Civic?
I love a good marketing scheme when it comes to the selling it out your trunk, because it's old school. He went old school the whole rollout.
Yes.
Mixtape with DJ Clue. selling them out the back of your trunk. I know him to always have traditionally be a purist.
It's interesting though, because I noticed he went old school with the rollout, and so did Cardi B. So you have two big artists who went old school with the rollout.
Then you wonder how much of that is like lack of actual budget that we care to give to you.
But is it also a return to old school rollouts? Like the need for an old school rollout? Is this something that artists should look at?
Nah, because there's so many artists that are understanding tech and all these other big things that like their rollout plan, they in the future low key.
But is it something that should, like, what I'm asking is, I mean, obviously you want to look to the future always, but is it something that shouldn't be abandoned is what I'm saying?
I feel like not abandoned, but I think
In addition to
doing what's expected of you nowadays, because it only looks like your label didn't care to do that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we look at like, okay, this is your last album. We're not hoping on this setting the precedent for your next release, for your this or that. You know, I found out over the weekend that he sold Dreamville already. Like,
Yeah.
So he's exiting, and I don't know if this was the greatest way to exit.
No, it
but,
definitely wasn't.
you know,
I'm gonna throw that out there.
We'll
But-
throw in accordance what happened last year, and
But I feel like
he got to
sometimes
chalk that
people-
up to his career too.
I feel like sometimes people say like, you know, physicals are dead, and then you have like a Cardi B and a J. Cole and even a punk like Rocky with the Punk Rocky album. Like they're selling physicals, they're selling CDs, they're selling vinyls, stuff
but
like that.
most artists that's the case, but they're also doing it from their website. Yeah, you could buy it on vinyl. You could buy the vinyl, the one that I signed, because like Gunna did that. I remember because I was shopping for him. But yeah, like merch from the tour that if you didn't get to a show, you still could get it. Things like that. But yeah, that's also while you could just pull me up and I'm the #1 face on Apple Music. Another thing, man, I do want to get this out of the way, man, just because, you know, I hate dealing with the heavy topics when we in the mode of you know, acting a fool. But yeah, I did want to make sure that I said rest in peace to Lil Jon's son, DJ Young Slade. He was tragically found deceased after a missing persons search was going on. Sad news. I saw Lil Jon posting about it. Definitely something heavy for the hip hop community, as it looked like he was a DJ that was rocking with a lot of the younger artists, a lot of the younger acts, because everybody that I saw was, you know, posting pictures with him. Like I said, he was only 27 years old. He was reported missing Tuesday morning after he was last seen running out of his home in Milton. This is out in Georgia. The body was located in a nearby pond. And again, I guess as of right now, there isn't too much information as to what occurred. Rest in peace, DJ Young Slade, man. DJ Young Slade. Yeah. That's super heavy right there. The Super Bowl was a little lackluster when it came to the game itself, man. But the commercials mixed with the halftime show did not upset in the slightest, man. Did you have a favorite commercial from on Sunday night?
No, I was doing other stuff like during the game, so I didn't really pay too much attention to the commercials. But the ones I saw, I felt like were lackluster, to be honest.
All right, tell me you saw the 50 Cent DoorDash one.
Yeah, I did see that one.
Okay, so DoorDash put that out, I believe, the day before.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that haven't seen it, it was a 50 Cent DoorDash commercial where he just referenced delivering beef, right? Pause, big pause, right?
Huge pause.
He, you know, the DoorDash bag that they come through with that's supposed to be like insulated. You know, he started pulling a couple things out the bag. Some of them cheese puffs, which obviously you could relate to, puff. He had a book for learning your ABCs, which obviously we would assume to be a shot at Floyd. He had combs as well, literal combs. And he had his Branson cognac, which he just happened to make mention was aged 50 months. My man is the king of petty, even when it's on somebody else's dime.
I aspire to be like him daily.
I like that they put it out a day prior because then you weren't competing with anybody.
Absolutely.
But I did see, you know, what I did like, man, because I know we've been keeping on top of like the whole Hot 97 thing and then letting people go. And we talked about Mero getting the mornings, man. But I was really happy to hear that Ebro was the voice and the narration of a lot of, well, the halftime show, as well as like just other parts of, Apple being incorporated into the Super Bowl.
I noticed that as well, and my thought was the same. Was he's not up out of here? It's not like this really hurt his brand.
Not at all, man. I just always thought it was odd that he wasn't necessarily pushing the Apple thing all the time, because he's been there for years and he holds a high position aside from just DJing and hosting shows on there. But 100% in the fact that like he not out of here. Like for the world to think like you took like oh my gosh, you took the biggest loss at the top of the year, and for it to turn around and be like, yo, bro,
it seems like
I'm narrating the most watched thing this year. Like it's different.
It seems like he more just embraced like the Apple Music side of things and is kind of now stepping out from behind the shadow of that.
Yeah. But then we saw Backstreet Boys in a T-Mobile commercial. It was all right.
Saw that.
With a little cameo by MGK. I felt like they got the Backstreet Boys and then maybe they had like a little bit of money left over and we were like, let's hit up MGK. But I think
$5 left.
Yeah.
I got 5 on it.
Yeah, 1,000%, man. But yeah, and I think MGK was actually doing stuff previously with T-Mobile. So, what I mean? The even when we cracking on you, nah, we mean it, actually.
Yeah, we mean it.
Yo, they had the polar bears in the Pepsi commercial, and I thought that was fire because I saw a lot of people like, hold on, ain't the polar bears or Coke? And I'm like, yo, man, in straight Tekashi voice, yo, I stole that, straight stole that, right? And I think that's dope, man, for them to use, because y'all don't own polar bears. What was y'all gonna do? So
I know it was super brand association though. People immediately, because I saw that all over socials too.
But what I thought was funny, I don't know if anybody picked it up. You might got to go back and pull it up on something, man, just to rewatch it. But there was a moment where the two polar bears were enjoying the Pepsi together, kind of in the cut, right? And then they got put up on the Jumbotron. And they was acting like, oh, shoot, we got caught sipping Pepsi. But it was really to play on the couple that got caught up at the Coldplay concert.
Yeah.
Right, man? I thought that was crazy. But I mean, let's not keep them waiting, man. We got to talk about probably the most important and significant part of the night, man. The Benito Bowl, man. Bad Bunny did his thing at the halftime show, a locked-in fire 13 minutes. And it's crazy to think like, yo, you got a career. His career got jumped in 2016. So imagine trying to compress 10 years in 13 minutes. And the reality is he kept it all up to date with his most recent bangers. But what I also thought was fire, because everything was off of his like past 2 albums.
Yeah.
Right? But when you heard certain breakdowns and you heard the Gasolina and the Dale with Don Omar and a lot of these joints, like he even, come on, in my 13 minutes, I'm taking pit stops to pay the homage for the dudes that was here before me.
Yes.
Bringing
out Ricky Martin.
The Ricky Martin was fly because Ricky Martin was just talking about being proud of him getting the slot. You know what I mean? When you think back to Grammy weekend, last weekend, who did they ask? Lady Gaga. Oh, how do you feel about Bad Bunny? Yo, he deserves it, da-da-da-da. So for her to turn around and be a part of it, it's almost like you want to know who knew and who didn't know.
Yeah.
A great representation of Puerto Rico as well as the Americas. You feel me?
I thought that was the most beautiful production of maybe the most beautiful production on a halftime show ever.
Because he took you on a trip real quick.
Yes. It was.
You know what I mean? Not everybody goes to Puerto Rico, but he brought it to you.
He told the story. I think he told the story of Puerto Rico, the culture of Puerto Rico, the struggles of Puerto Rico throughout the entire 13 minutes.
From the sugarcane fields where people are still working in today. You feel me? Yeah. From to make reference to the infrastructure and what was needed and not given at a certain time after the storms, where they were left without food, medical aid, electricity.
You gotta remember, they didn't have electricity for like 6 months. It wasn't just a short period of time.
No
help, with no help from the U.S. government, who is their government.
You know what I mean? And yeah, which was big. All of the boxers were real boxers. The businesses that were represented are all real businesses, from the taco cart to the man with the piraguas.
Yeah,
everything.
the one woman, shout out to her. She was from Brooklyn. He represented Brooklyn on the stage.
Tonita, right?
Tonita.
So Tonita has a social club in Brooklyn, Puerto Rican owned, has been there forever. It's probably the last standing
Yeah, it
Puerto
is.
Rican social club,
It is.
you know. And this was a big thing because when a lot of Puerto Ricans back in the day were coming to New York specifically, there were not many places where they could even go somewhere and order food, because that difference in the languages that we speak, or even having to deal with that type of racism, is like, yo, I can't even get a sandwich here. You know what I mean? And it became a big hub, not only for food, not only for gatherings, but for advancement in life, because people would come there to discuss documents and things that they, and legal stuff that they can't read. You know, they would have somebody that was, you know, had both languages down packed and was bilingual to assist them in doing so. Yo, huge. Even him giving himself as a child the Grammy. Yo, I mean, my man, to me, even like I said, to represent for the Americas. I know
He said that the wedding was a couple that had invited him to their wedding, and he couldn't go, so he invited them to come to the halftime show.
And that's fire, for your love to be displayed on that type of stage because you invited your favorite entertainer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was
very
major,
intentional
man.
with everything.
But yeah, but I did want to mention with all the flags and everything else, and he was talking about, you know, America. There was no negativity in anything that he performed. You know what I mean? Like, even when I look back to like, oh, Ice Out, he ain't say, you know, F Ice or nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Which like always goes back to my man is just like such a gentleman at the end of the day. He moves with a lot of class. You know what I mean? But he moves with pride.
Yeah.
To see all those flags out there waving, and he's saying like, yo, this is for the Americas. You know what I mean? As people that live within the 48 states, some people are prone to thinking that, oh, just this is America.
Yeah.
This is North America.
Yeah.
There's Central America. There's South America. We are just the United States. That's it. You know, and I think he did a great job at reminding people of that. Ultimately, it was great. You know, it bothered me to see so much division following,
especially over
and even in the
a
next
halftime
morning.
show that was meant to create unity.
I don't even want to give no shine to the alternative show whatsoever, so we could breeze right past it. You know, and man, just ultimately overall, man, that was just a great show, man. Anything else you want to touch on before we take it back to some music real quick?
No, I think that was it for me.
Yo, man, but let me tell you, man, I was actually checking something out over the weekend, man, and I heard something about Central C. I don't know if you heard this, but Central C had a storage unit, right? And there was somebody that actually stole from this storage unit, a big major loss, because my man lost like a 12-year sneaker collection, along with memorabilia and other things like that. And this was actually the entire storage unit being wiped out.
Nah, I would go crazy.
Now, have you ever saw like the storage hunter shows or like whatever?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I read it as like, you know, because sometimes you like don't pay your storage for a month, and then they'll be auctioning your stuff off. That's what I thought initially happened, but no, somebody came in and literally stole everything, swiped it all out of there, and when he came back, there was nothing to be found.
Yo, that's crazy.
Right?
How does that happen?
What was probably the most prized possession you've ever lost?
I don't know. I really be not losing stuff.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta think about it.
Yeah, I get it. You hear? Okay.
I gave that away.
Yo, man, listen. I do actually want to give a big shout out, man. A big shout out to Public Enemy. I don't know if you peeped this over the weekend. Legendary group, man. If you know, you know. But if not, you should go online and learn yourself. Okay? Legendary group, Public Enemy, has dropped She Got Game. Now, I don't know how many of you know, they had a hit song called He Got Game, okay? And the legendary group went and reimagined their song to celebrate female athletes, tying the release to the Milano Cortina Winter Games and supporting women's sports initiatives. I think this is super dope. It's a good look for them. It puts them back in conversation. and a classic song. It's dope to even be considered for, again, when I go back to, we could do what we've always done, but just do it in accordance with what's new. Women's sports is a big thing. It's a big talk. It's a hot topic, and it's only on the rise. It's only going to get bigger. So I just think aligning themselves right there, especially for the Winter Games. This is the Olympics. We're talking about the Olympics, and we're talking about an anti-government type rap group.
I don't know if you saw, too, with the Olympics, that Lindsey Vonn was airlifted off the course on Sunday.
Is it bad if I say I don't know who that is?
Really? The skier?
Nah.
No, so 9 days before the Olympics, Lindsey Vonn, she tore her ACL. It was a complete tear of the ACL. And she decided to compete anyway, right?
Okay.
And like early on in the downhill, I think it was like 13 seconds into the course, she ended up wiping out and ended up getting airlifted off the course. She was supposed to compete in a couple other events moving forward, and so now her status to compete it's unclear if she'll be able to continue. So it ended up being a big deal. It was a kind of
fall off. Fall off. Yeah, you sound like you just described J. Cole right there to me. You're like, yo, something happened. You left, came back, wasn't the same again. It was embarrassing, and we had to watch their last hoorah go to nothing.
Yo, so bad.
Damn, I'm sorry to hear that though.
Disappointing, super disappointing.
My prayers and thoughts are with her, man. That's
have you been
insane.
tapped into the Olympics?
No, but funny enough, as you mentioned in the skier, I saw that there's been like this male skier within the past like couple of weeks. He's from Canada.
Yo, because I was gonna say there was the professional skier who was competing for Great Britain who used urine to write in the snow F ice and posted it to his Instagram. So there's been a lot of political statements at the Olympics. It's been a wild ride. I don't know if you saw like JD Vance got booed at the opening ceremony. It's been a lot going on.
I did not.
Okay,
this is all right. Somebody just pulled this up for me. All right, cool. Ryan Wedding, right? He was the Canadian Olympic snowboarder. He wasn't a skier.
Okay, yeah.
But they did refer to him as a skier a lot on news sites. Who was, I guess, allegedly in an international drug ring, and he's from Canada, I believe. I believe the crimes were in the U.S., but he was arrested in Mexico City just 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, Mexico City.
Yeah, so he's actually here in not in New York, but in the United States, facing federal charges related to massive drug operations and multiple unalivings of sorts.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's not competing in Cortina.
Nah, not at all, man. He in trouble for a whole different type of snow, man.
So we did not, for the big air, we did not make it to the podium.
I don't really watch like the Winter Games.
No?
Nah, I'll be real.
I'm super tapped in.
You know the one where they
curling,
doing like this, the curling. Yo, like that's like extreme Swiffering.
Yes, I love it. I just had on Threads, I had posted, I was like, yo, I do not think about curling ever, right? That is not on my radar. But as soon as the Olympics hit, I immediately want to take up curling. And
what do you think everybody who does curling in the Winter Games, what do you think they do the rest of the year?
Not only that, like, how do you, like, I feel like there's no other trajectory in curling except for the Winter Olympics, right? Like, if you do curling, like, that's got to be it for you, right?
You got to be like a maid in the off season where you just like sweeping, getting your reps in. You know what I mean? Just buffing somebody's floor like crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if you're like, yo, I think I'm gonna take up curling at like 4 years old, like the only aspiration is like Winter Olympics, right? Like,
if my kid tells me they're gonna be a curler when they grow up, I'm gonna look at them like how my dad looked at me when I was like, yo, I'm a rap. Curlers are the new rappers in 2026, man.
But also, like, yo, here, like, if your kid lived in the Hudson Valley and was like, yo, I want to take up curling, I'd be like, yo, I can't help you, kid.
Be like, yeah, your hair?
Like, where do you even go to that?
Where you curling at, man?
You
doing workouts, you mean?
You gotta move to take your kid so they can curl?
Oh, you working on your delts? What you telling me right now, man? That's crazy.
The most fascinating thing to me.
Oh yeah, not for sure. I gotta
I don't know
tap
if you
in.
saw too.
We gotta find a curler to get on the show. Actually,
I'm gonna work on it. The other thing that's amazing to me too is that the Jamaican bobsled team has been trending, and so all the clips from Cool Runnings have been everywhere.
that's mad funny.
I went down like the TikTok rabbit hole, and then it's like all over Threads, it's all over Twitter. Like, if you enjoyed Cool Runnings as a kid, like, please go on social media.
Yo, so what does your explore page look like?
My explore page?
Yeah.
On which platform?
Because you're not low how these Jamaican men is just popping up on your algorithm. Whether they skiing or not.
You're being too loud. You're being too loud.
My explore page is straight like what is it? It's like it's mad barber videos. Like how to give yourself a fade.
Why?
Right, but then I get into these deep pockets and like, yo, I've been following this dude. I want to get him on the show, actually, man. So we gonna speak it into existence. My man's name is Vernon. He actually owns something in Cincinnati that is a barber shop and such. But on his off day, which is technically like the shop is closed, but he's still there, he actually gives free haircuts to special needs children that are, deal with like sensory problems, and like it's difficult for them to sit in a barber shop, and the noises, the buzzers, all of these things going on. So it's literally like this shop is catered to these children, and that's crazy.
Where is he?
He's located in Cincinnati, Ohio.
So maybe we should go out there and interview him.
Yeah, they could give me a cut. Man. He give me a cut. Yo, I do want to make sure that we get to some advice, man. You want to take it there?
Yeah, I always want to give advice to people that we're not qualified to give advice to.
Yo, no. I think we got this right here, man. This one came in. They included their name. Shout out to Anna. I guess there's nothing that she could get in trouble about. So that's probably why she didn't mind including her name. But I definitely want to make sure that I got to this one because I liked it, honestly, right? The caption of this is how to stop being attracted to a colleague. Okay? Anna writes, last year, a new man started at my job. He's not my boss yet, but he will be once my boss retires in the immediate future. Physically, he's exactly my type. The guy could not be more perfect to look at. We've mostly avoided each other, but the job is pushing us closer and closer all the time. There's even some work trips on the horizon that him and I would have to be taking together. He turned red when he even pitched the idea to me, so I suspect that he has similar feelings. The problem is I do not date people that I work with. Never have, never will. And I have no plans to quit my job. It's close to home. Everyone loves me. They pay me way above industry standard, and I may just never leave. I recently started having very spicy dreams about this guy, and it's made working with him uncomfortable. I'm almost sure I'm blushing the whole time I'm near him, and my brain literally stops working. So I turn to you guys for suggestions because my friends have literally been no help to me. And she ends it right there.
Do it, girl.
Yeah, see? This is why we're not supposed to give the advice. Man.
It's unqualified and unfiltered.
I like the fact that you're not taking, because I felt like we would have normally received something like this and it'd be like, but my man picks me up from work. So listen, you single, he's single. You allowed to look, you allowed to like what you looking at. But the reality is, if you want my real true advice, man, you're gonna have to learn how to curb your desires on the real.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a boss, there's gonna be a dynamic that's at play at a later time. I think never in any of time that I've dealt with somebody that I worked with, which has been like forever since that was ever the case, it never ended well.
Ever.
So I think you've already listed all these reasons as to like why you shouldn't put this at risk and all the great things that you've got going for yourself at this job that you're at. Keep it at that.
Yeah, the only way it's gonna work out is if you leave your job. So unless you're planning on doing that, then
and if you give it more time, you'll probably allow more time for him to turn you off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he might be dude that heats up tuna in the microwave.
No.
You know what I mean? He
Not
might
that
be
guy.
you don't know. You just don't know, man.
Or
There's
burn
more
something in
things.
the microwave and now everybody at the job got to evacuate.
Yeah, man. You might find out that, he's into something weird. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Or like, the guy that dressed mad nice, like in uniform or like in a suit, but then like can't dress outside of work. He might be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he could also not be into you. You could be turning him off and you don't know. I think she just mentioned that, like, he kind of gets like a little funny with like pitching her the idea of like, yo, we supposed to be going on a trip together. I think that is weird because as a man, you might want to walk on eggshells a little bit when you kind of presenting anything to a woman in the workplace, especially when you're a mindful gentleman. Some things can be taken the wrong way. You want to make sure that you delivering them properly, as well as, yeah. Who knows? Maybe he is into you. But you know what? If he's not busting the move, then that's it. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog. We gotta get up on out of here. Keep rocking with us, man. Make sure you reach out to us if you need some advice with people that are unqualified to give you any. We still gonna do it. Send that in the field radio on Instagram. Check out my girl Erin Boogie, okay, on Instagram, and your boy Rapz on Instagram, man. Send me a little something.
Go check us out on podcast platforms. We still got that crazy interview rocking.
There you go.
All our other past interviews are up there.
Pilardi.
Our streams up.
Willpower.
Willpower is still going.
You feel me? I might have been a guest. The episode from me being a guest on this show might still be on there.
Yeah, we might have been the guest on that one.
Listen here, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. You know where to catch us next week. I'm going to be here again, doing these same type things. All right?
I might be here. It might just be Rapz.
Listen, I'm still going to show up, though. Listen, we out, man.
Until next week.